Do you want to be ahead of the game for the latest in arts, music, cuisine, and entertainment across the Middle East's most dynamic capital cities? Al Monitor is proud to launch our City Pulse newsletters, focused exclusively on local news, starting in Riyadh, Dubai, Istanbul, and Doha. Each week, our on-the-ground writers in these cities cover the latest cultural happenings and trends, so you have everything you need to know for the best local experiences. To subscribe for free, go to almonitor.com, that's al-monitor.com, and sign up on our newsletter page.
Hi, I'm Adam Lucente. Welcome back to the Al Monitor Brief. Lebanese Armed Forces leader General Joseph Aoun was elected president by parliament on Thursday, ending more than 2 years of the presidency being vacant. Many in Lebanon celebrated Aoun's election, viewing it as a sign of hope amid war and economic struggle. He was backed by several countries with interests in Lebanon, namely the US, France, and Saudi Arabia. However, the road ahead for the country is difficult. Lebanon remains in an economic crisis and is reeling from the war between Hezbollah and Israel. Aoun is now tasked with leading Lebanon through these issues. Saudi Arabia has demanded he work to disarm Hezbollah in order to unlock financial help, according to local reports. The ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah remains in effect, though there have been violations, and he will meet with Parliament next week to discuss the selection of a new prime minister. My guest this episode is Al Monitor journalist Beatrice Farhat. From her base in Beirut, Beatrice follows and reports extensively on Lebanese politics and gave us an update on the state of the country after Aoun's victory. Hope you enjoy. Beatrice, welcome back to the Al Monitor Brief.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. So, how has Lebanese society reacted to the election of a president after more than 2 years? And what's the mood like in Beirut right now and the country as a whole?
After the election of Joseph Aoun yesterday, on Thursday, there's a state of optimism across the country, although a little cautious. But overall, people are happy with the result because Joseph Aoun, as a commander of the army, is seen as an independent figure from the traditional political elite that has ruled the country for decades since the Civil War. So they see him as an independent figure with integrity. And they are hoping that he could bring changes, substantial changes to the country, where the country in Lebanon, where there has been successive crises since 2019, with the financial collapse, the port explosion in 2020, up until recently when Israel and Hezbollah fought a war. So yeah, there is a hope that Aoun can make changes.
And what has he done so far? He made this important speech. Can you tell us about the speech and any early actions that he's taken since becoming president?
So his speech was at Parliament yesterday was really significant. He didn't mention the resistance in reference to Hezbollah. Instead, he stressed that the Lebanese state has the exclusive right to bear weapons. This is important. And while he was saying that, Parliament was applauding him. So that's one of the main points that really stuck out in his speech, in his acceptance speech. He also vowed to restore, to recover the economy, to restructure the public administrations and public sector. So there were a lot of important actions that he vowed to take. As his on his first day today as president, he met with Prime Minister Najib Mikati, and he then hosted in Babda at the presidential palace. He hosted the former president Michel Aoun. They're not related. So former President Michel Aoun, who was close to Hezbollah. And then he also hosted some Western, some international leaders, including the Cypriot president and the Italian foreign minister. And just a few hours ago, the presidency announced that Aoun will begin consultations on Monday with the MPs to appoint a new prime minister that would be in charge of forming a new government. So that would be his first action that he would be taking on Monday.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with Beatrice after this short break.
Today's transformation of the Middle East is at the center of global geopolitics. Whether you're an analyst, diplomat, executive, or academic, you need the best reporting and analysis to understand what's really happening on the ground and what it means for the world. Al Monitor is the award-winning independent leader in Middle East news. From Riyadh to Beirut, Abu Dhabi to Doha, and Baghdad to Tehran, our team of over 100 expert journalists report daily on the top stories driving the regional trends. Download our mobile app and subscribe to Al Monitor to follow what leaders and decision makers are reading every day. Go to almonitor.com, that's AL-MONITOR.com, and use promo code POD25, POD25 for a discount.
Okay, we're back. Beatrice, how does Aoun's victory change Lebanon's political dynamics? And specifically, how does his election affect Hezbollah?
Many in Lebanon see that Aoun's election came after Hezbollah suffered major losses during the war with Israel and was significantly weakened, especially also after the fall of Assad, their ally in Syria. So they saw this as an opportunity for Aoun, who is backed by the West, including the US and Saudi Arabia, to become president. In his acceptance speech, Aoun also stressed that the Lebanese state will be the only party responsible for defending Lebanon against any Israeli attacks and Israeli aggression. So it seems like there are gonna be some shifts in dynamics, especially after Hezbollah gained wide influence in the past decades, since after the assassination of former Prime Minister Rafiq Hariri in 2005. So it seems there's gonna be some changes, and also looking at the regional changes that are happening around us in Syria and Iran, hopefully there's gonna be some changes in the country.
If there is one thing that Lebanese people want from the presidency, what do you think that is? If there is one thing that is most important to the people right now that there's been a president after.
Yeah, what they want is mainly that Lebanon remains neutral. They want Aoun to ensure Lebanon's neutrality regarding the regional conflicts, and for him to be able to form a government that would enact reforms for Lebanon's economic recovery. So these are the two main points, in my personal opinion, and looking at what most people are saying and talking about, this is what it looks like.
Gotcha. Beatrice, thanks so much for your time and for your reporting from Beirut.
You're welcome.
We look forward to more.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Al Monitor Brief. Follow Al Monitor for more on the stories impacting the Middle East.